Yo, Ryan. Yeah, that's a tattoo on my head. Maybe it's gonna be trendy next year. Not the reason I did it, but I am looking for web and or app developers. And through a strange search on Google, I ended up finding your ugly mug on YouTube. When I say your ugly mug, I'm fucking around with you because I'm the one with the ugly mug. I actually thought I like women, but I thought you were kind of cute. Or that women would think you're kind of cute. Whatever, that's not the point. I enjoyed the fact that I found your YouTube video, which I think was your first vlog. I gotta be honest with you, I only saw the first few minutes, but I don't know. I just got inspired to do a video for you, and let me explain to you in a kernel, in a nutshell, IT Freudian slip. In a nutshell, what I'm looking for. A user gets the fucking screen. It's got 5 fucking thumbnails. Excuse my fucking French. Users get to a fucking screen. There's going to be thousands or millions of screens eventually, but on each screen there's going to be probably 5 thumbnails or icons, and when you click on the fucking icon or fucking thumbnail, it shows you whatever it is that it does, that icon or thumbnail leads to. And whether or not they decide to look at it, people can vote for which one out of those 5 on that selection page uh, do they want that one to win. So they vote for it. And unlike with the Facebook like, where you can only click like one time, or with the YouTube video where you can only give one thumbs up, you can fucking click that again and again and again and again and again and again and again. And um, uh, what the what happens is that at the end of the voting, those 5 achieve what I call stars. So, as I explained in another video called, which you can find on YouTube or on one of the links that I sent you, called Top Choice System Basic 2014, 11, 23. So yeah, you can find that video from one of the links, or just go to YouTube and type Top Choice System Basic 20141123. But so when the voting is done, whichever one's got the most clicks gets a certain score in what I call stars, which is different from the number of clicks that they received. And what I'm looking for is, regardless of web design, or regardless of the other potential that the top choice system has, which is mind-boggling. Actually, what I'm looking for is a solid, healthy relationship with the web developer that's going to develop this. That's what I'm looking for. So I said, hello, Ryan, but this goes for any developer that wants to do this. I want a healthy relationship with the developer that's going to develop this, and or the developers that are going to develop this. And what I was going to say is that despite the mind, oh, we're at 4:05, 4:06, we're 13 seconds from 4:20. I don't got any weed right now, but I tend to notice what happens at 4:20 on videos. 4:20. Regardless of the mind boggling and dizzying potential that the full fledged top choice system has, I sort of fucking God, excuse my fucking French, if I fucking understood how to use MySQL or whatever it is that integrates web pages with databases. I do this thing my fucking self. But I don't understand or know how to integrate a database with a web page. I just fucking learned HTML basics by viewing the page source on an HTML page and figuring out how to do hyperlinks and insert images. That's about it. But despite the mind-boggling possible potential of the top choice system, if it goes full-fledged, where you're going to be able to find your soulmate and change democracy and interact with the aliens or decide where Batman goes, etc., etc., etc. The nutshell of is extremely simple, and I want to see if I can explain it very simply here. The two things that the interaction between the database and the web page have to do is, one, very simply, and I doubt that this would require a rocket scientist, is that when people vote for shit, like you get the selection page that's got 5 things that you can fucking vote on. When people vote for things, they can vote again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Instead of just saying, I like it, or thumbs up once. No, you can vote it and 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 vote it again. And that's how you give, let's call them click points to that particular item in the page with the selections. The other thing that the data, so the, you know, the number one thing that the interaction with between the database and the user that's looking at that page has to do, like I said, is enable the fucking user to fucking click to vote for that fucking item and let them vote again and again and again and again and again. I could probably have a script made for $30 that does that. The other thing that the database has to do, and eventually this has to be open for adding more and more records to the data. I don't know if records is a word that in IT databases is a specific meaning different from what I mean with the English language, but so that cookies and shit, I don't know that stuff, but the point is that each of the item that's in the system that people vote on would have a bunch of records associated with it. But the main thing, besides what I've just said about being able to get voted on more than once, because the items then get promoted, if you will, to more selection pages, and ideally and obviously the more votes you get, the more you get promoted up. So if you imagine 1,000 or 1,000,000 selection pages with 5 things that people can vote on each selection page, the ones that win each selection by getting the most number of click points for that particular competition keep getting moved up towards that front of the if it was a newspaper, to be towards the front page, into other selection pages where people can once again vote. And so what the database does is that as I explained in the video called Top Choice System Basic 2014-11-23, which I'm going to provide the links below, but and also there's a draft text page with an audio that I highly recommend if you want to have a good relationship with me, that you listen to that audio at some point. But for now, you can skip to that draft page. Again, I'm going to provide the links below, or you can just find it from the link that I've already sent you for web developers. But there's an example at the bottom of that draft page, a textual example that explains some of the very basics of it. But the point is that how does the top choice system move things from having finished a voting process to another, ideally higher up selection page where there's going to be another voting process and so on, how does it move it? Well, the way that it moves it is that any item that has finished the game achieves a score based on what I call stars, which very simply put, in case you haven't watched that other video that I referred to, if there's 5 items and this item beat these 4 items, this item very simply put has won 4 stars because it beat 4 items. This item has won 2 stars because it beat 2 items. That's if you start at 0, but if you're in the front page and this item has received the most votes, but it beat this item, actually it beat all these 4 items, but it turned out that this item had 1,000 web stars already, not clicks on that particular game, but in the process this has achieved 1,000 web stars. This item now has 1,000 web stars because it beat 1,000 web star item. Let's say that this one had 900, this one had 950, this one had 3, this one had less than 1,000, beat the item with 1,000, so this one now has 1,000. And so the database now says, okay, now we give you a score of 1,000 web stars. Again, we're not talking about how many times people clicked on this item in this particular instance. Oh my God, I'm probably not making any sense. But if you read this shit, you'll understand. What the database does is it enables users to vote on any of these pages, and then based on the results of the votes, but different from the number of votes that they've received. It doesn't have to be this way, but this is the way that I prefer to do it. Based on the results, as in which of these items received the most votes, the second most votes, the third most votes, the fourth most votes, and the fifth most votes. Based on that, the system is going to assign what I call stars to that. And then it's going to move each of these items to different new selection pages where people can once again vote against other items. And the way that it's going to move them to these other pages is based on the number of stars, to call them that each of these items has as a result of having finished that voting session, if you will. Now, I don't see any reason why this should be fucking complicated to build at all. So ultimately, I might end up having it built by somebody in Bangladesh or Uganda that does it for $4.50 an hour and builds it in 2.5 hours. I'm not talking about the whole full-fledged website with all the thrills that I want. But like I said, I'm looking for somebody that's going to have a good relationship with me and that can create the simple interaction between the pages and the database. So Ryan, whether or not it's you, so whoever's listening to this, all you got to do is talk to me and understand that we can dig each other, but understand that, I don't know, if we have a good relationship, let's go with this, okay? And also start thinking about, because I finally do have some money where I could pay whoever wants to do this, but start looking at bellatop.com, BELLATOP.com. Start thinking about How much you'd want in percentages? All right.